Most of us have cameras on us right here on our phone. That's why you're seeing more scenes like this, which only add to tension in some neighborhoods between police and citizens. Now Kalamazoo's police chief and others across West Michigan are getting more cameras of their own, body cameras, to try to get the full story and not just a few seconds of it. Crews are actively still working to put out this fire. I'm joined now live with the Battle Creek Fire Chief. Chief, tell us first and foremost, is everyone okay? Well, Leon, this situation is unfolding as we speak right now. We've been down in the newsroom listening to this live feed that's coming into us from Sydney. These are live pictures right now. And just a few minutes ago, before we came on air, we actually watched as 3 men frantically ran outside of this building, the Lindt Chocolate building there down in Martin Place. It's a business district in Sydney. These cameras will capture police interactions on essentially every call they go out on, allowing all of their moves to be scrutinized. So we just put in the phone number for Fifth Third Bank. We're going to place call, wait a few seconds. And there it is, Fifth Third Bank calling, when of course it's just us. To try and show you what happens, we threw a bottle in. Immediately, it got pulled under, then popped up and pulled under again. The landlord, Dale Church, says he learned about the problem just before we showed up. But tenants tell a different story. And after we tracked him down, he promised to fix the problem. But right now, the heat's still off. And if that doesn't change soon, then the city will issue a fine to fix it or shut down the complex. This entire unit on Porter Road in Wyoming is without heat. This woman didn't want to show her face, but had to buy a wall heater to keep her and her 2 kids from freezing.
You know, I called DTE and try to get it on in my unit to do it, you know, individually, and we share a meter. So it's either turn the whole building on or none.
And they say the landlord isn't doing anything about it. So they called us. We tracked down the landlord at his home to ask why.
I was just aware of this today. Excuse me.
You just got aware of this today?
Today.
They said they called you the day before.
No, that's not true.
After a few seconds, he said he would head over there to fix it.
I'm on my way there right now.
You're going there now? Okay, we'll follow you. So we followed him to the apartment, but when we got there, he was nowhere to be found. So we called him. We talked to him on the phone, and he said he was working to get someone in to fix the heat, but he didn't want to talk anymore on camera.
I don't want to go through all this right now. Let me just go get the furnace off, okay?
We're told a repairman just left the complex. If the heat is not fixed tonight, the city of Wyoming will issue a fine for unlivable conditions. Now, Target 8 did some investigating, and we learned that he owns at least 2 other complexes here in the city that have also had issues with heat in the past. We will continue to follow what happens here. Live in Wyoming, Heather Walker, 24-hour News 8. Today, detectives talked to Amber in the hospital along with her parents. They say she didn't say much. She's only 2, so she has a limited vocabulary, and the detectives are strangers, so she didn't feel that comfortable. Now, they are not calling this suspicious. They just want to make sure that she was not taken there, that she did indeed walk from her home to where she was found. But if she did, she had quite a journey. Detectives believe she left her home on 12 Mile, walked across the street, then through the forest, where she was found almost 2 miles away. My photographer and I took the same walk through the Manistee National Forest. So we haven't been walking for more than, I don't know, like a couple minutes, and I'm already winded. So I have no idea how a 2-year-old would make it all that way. Little Amber Rose was wearing only a halter top, nothing on her legs or feet. I have boots on, so I don't know how she did this. In 15 minutes, we only made it a 1/4 of a mile, and I'm 5'10", so those little legs, it had to take her a lot longer. This section of the forest alone goes for miles and miles. I got lost finding my way back.
That's not the right way.
Thankfully, she was found just before 2 o'clock today by a DNR conservation officer.
She was sobbing. I jumped off my 4-wheeler, went over and grabbed her and gave her a hug and brought her in to the roadway.
The only apparent injury were a few scrapes and bruises. DNR says there were people searching in this area yesterday, but they didn't find her.
As far as us finding her today, I'm sure that the daylight played a lot in it. When you got 7 or 8 grown males that have seen many things in their lives and through their job, slapping high fives and shedding a tear, I'd say that has the definition of a miracle.
Road signs out here say road closed, but that's because if you take a look behind me, there is no road. It's actually been washed away by the creek. Some of the roads still hanging on here, but people living here say this is the worst flooding they've seen.
Crazy. Quite an event.
Just in front of James Rath's home on Lincoln Avenue, a car fell into the Bellamy Creek. Rushing water washed away the ground underneath and the road collapsed. The driver was okay, but it created quite a spectacle. Even after the car was lifted out, people came to see and snap pictures.
It's a disaster. Disaster struck.
Caleb Carr took pictures to show his grandpa.
I think he's gonna be amazed that the entire road just washed out.
Barriers and road closed signs went up around Ionia County. Chad Schulten lives on West Main near Turkey Trail and noticed his road breaking off. So he went out to warn drivers until the county came.
I just didn't want nobody to fall in it. So I was standing out here sitting on the rail just directing traffic around this edge. We seen school buses go over and you could see the whole thing just.
After all this rain, the sun was a welcome sight.
Stop resisting! You're under arrest! Stop resisting!
You see what they own?
You're under arrest!
This video shows an officer kneeing a man multiple times.
It appears like there's this man, this innocent man, getting beaten by police.
Well, that's what would appear if you just had this video.
Kalamazoo Police Chief Jeff Hadley says the officers in the video followed policy. The call was for a man with a gun. Officers tried to pat him down, but police say he resisted. Hadley says the officers used knee strikes only to gain compliance.
And what you saw there were the officers trying to get these subjects' hands away from his waist.
You're under arrest!
What you don't see is a loaded .22 caliber 9-shot revolver police say they found in his waistband. He was arrested for a weapons charge and resisting an officer.
PD does have video of this incident, correct?
No, we don't.
The car cameras were running, but the action was out of frame. One of the officers' mics cuts out, making it impossible to tell what's going on. We're seeing more cell phones catching police in action. Last month, it was a Grand Rapids police tasing a man. Another case, police say, of a video taken out of context. GRPD says the video doesn't show what prompted the tasing, the man punching police. Officers had to rely on downtown cameras to get the whole story.
As soon as that's flipped open, you're on.
That's why departments like Kalamazoo are testing body cameras.
Everyone else has a camera. I mean, come on. Everybody has, 99% of Americans, or maybe 90% of Americans probably have an iPhone with a camera on it. So why wouldn't we?
I would turn the camera system on just by sliding this down.
Lieutenant Franks with KDPS has been testing this camera for 2 weeks now. And what do you think?
I like it. As an officer, I like it because it gives more of the picture.
The camera and mic are all in one small device, so you never lose audio. KDPS believes the cameras will protect the police and the public. These cameras will capture police interactions on essentially every call they go out on, allowing all of their moves to be scrutinized. Are you worried at all about the public seeing everything?
No, I mean, in terms of how we engage the community, out on the calls, absolutely not.
We learned police can't edit the video, but you can watch just portions of it. The ACLU is more concerned about human error, that an officer could conveniently forget to record. The chief realizes this is not a solve-all, but feels not having these cameras is no longer an option.
The question will come, why don't you? Not are you?